Question 5. When drawing a histogram, it is important to do which of the following? All right, so I've got a histogram here on the left, and we're going to look at some of the characteristics. Okay. First thing I want you to notice is that the bars actually are touching each other. There's no space in between the bars. So where this bar representing values 0 to 20 ends, the next bar 20 to 40 begins. Okay. So because of that, I'm going to cross off D. Right? You don't need to leave gaps between the bars. You actually want the bars to touch. Okay. Now, if there is a naturally occurring gap because there's no values there, then sure. But normally you're not leaving any space between the bars. Okay. Another thing is, okay, so let's look at statement A. Have a separate class interval for each observation to get the most informative plot. Okay. If we put each observation into its own class, then we wouldn't get any stacking at all. In fact, the point of the histogram is to combine or bin values together, right? Values that are close together should fall in the same bin, right? So we've got the 0 to 20 bin, the 20 to 40 bin, etc., right? We want binning and we want observations to be combined together, so A is not a good choice. Okay. B, make sure the heights of the bars exceed the widths of the class so that the bars are true rectangles. Well, some of these bars are taller than they are wide, but like this first bar, right, its width is bigger than its height. So it's not necessary that the bars always have to be higher than they are wide. Okay, it just depends on how many values fall into each bin. If it's not a lot, then you might get a short, wider bar. But if there's a lot of values in the bin, then yeah, you're going to get a tall bar. Okay, so I don't think B is a good choice either. C, label the vertical axis so the reader can determine the counts or percent in each class interval. Okay, so here we do have a vertical axis labeled as frequency, scaled 0 to 10, so that makes it very easy to see that, oh hey, there were 10 values between 40 and 60. We could also change it to relative frequency, right, and get percentages. Okay, so yes, you'd have to label whether it's frequency or relative frequency. Okay. So C, I think, is worth saving. Let's look at E. Okay. Scale the vertical axis according to the variable whose distribution you are displaying. Okay. So this was from a previous question. We were looking at how many contacts people have on their cell phone. And if you look at the variable, it's not on the vertical axis. The variable is down here on the horizontal axis. Okay. So I'm going to eliminate E and stick with my choice C.